Brace yourselves. An economic depression far greater than any in history looms on the horizon. Our current economic scenario paints a grim picture. The Federal Reserve, the central pillar of our financial system, grapples with an uphill task of taming skyrocketing inflation. Despite their efforts in hiking interest rates, the inflationary beast remains untamed, but the ominous signs don't stop there. The yield curve, a reliable economic crystal ball, is screaming warnings. The difference between the 10-year Treasury rate and the 3-month Treasury rate has inverted. Historically, such a phenomenon has been a harbinger of economic downturns and recessions. This inverted yield curve is a prophecy of what lies ahead, a depression that could dwarf all previous ones. Yet, in the heart of this crisis, there lies a paradox. This economic downturn could be the worst financial situation you'll ever experience, or it could be the biggest life opportunity. To understand our future, we must revisit our past, specifically the 2008 crisis. This was a time of turmoil that shook the financial world to its core, a crisis that rippled through every corner of the globe. The year 2008 was marked by the crash of Wall Street, the epicenter of America's financial might. But who were the architects of this debacle? The banks, the very institutions entrusted with the safekeeping of our hard-earned money. They gambled with our trust, our hopes, our dreams, and when the dice rolled unfavorably, it was the people who paid the price. The banks, shrouded in a veil of complexity, manipulated markets and crafted financial products that were as opaque as they were dangerous. These were not simple loans or mortgages, but convoluted financial instruments deliberately designed to befuddle and mislead. And when the bubble burst, as all bubbles do, it was the ordinary man and woman who bore the brunt. Savings evaporated, pensions dwindled, jobs disappeared, and homes were lost. The banks, meanwhile, were bailed out, their reckless behavior rewarded with taxpayer money. Now, let's draw a parallel to the present day. The top echelons of the financial world are once again playing fast and loose with our savings, devaluing the fruit of our labor under the guise of helping us. But in reality, they're only helping themselves, filling their coffers while ours grow emptier by the day. As we stand on the precipice of what could be the greatest depression in history, it's crucial to remember the lessons of 2008. We must remember the culprits, the consequences, and most importantly, the victims. We were the victims then, and we risk being the victims now if we don't arm ourselves with knowledge and vigilance. History repeats itself, but this time, we can be prepared. Remember who ended up richer and poorer in 2008? Once a beacon of freedom, America is losing its identity. The very essence of what made this nation great is being eroded bit by bit. Socialist parties have infiltrated our system, spreading division rather than unity. Instead of tackling corruption and economic instability, their focus is on issues that only serve to further divide us. The right to free speech, a cornerstone of our Constitution, is being suppressed. Social media platforms, once champions of free expression, are now its gatekeepers, silencing those who dare to think differently. Even a president wasn't immune to this cancellation culture, accused and judged repeatedly without substantial evidence. Yet, amid this erosion of freedom, we must remember that we are not powerless. It's never too late to take a stand, to educate ourselves about the reality that surrounds us. For it is through knowledge and understanding that we can reclaim the freedom that is rightfully ours. But we are not powerless. It's time to wake up, educate ourselves, and reclaim our freedom. Enough is enough. The time to act is now. We must rally our voices, our efforts, our minds, and our hearts to the cause of economic freedom. We must remember the importance of independent thought, of the capitalist who dares to think for themselves. They are the architects of a better tomorrow, the masons who lay the foundation for a prosperous future. We must resist the forces that seek to shackle us, that wish to keep us in darkness, that threaten our freedoms. We must rise, not as drifters carried by the currents of manipulation, but as captains of our own destiny, steering our ship towards the shores of truth and enlightenment. Education is our compass, guiding us through the tumultuous seas of misinformation. It is our beacon amidst the fog of deceit. It is our sword against the specter of ignorance. Join us, and together, as a syndicate of capitalists, we can face the unshadow and everyone who threatens our freedom. Freedom to everyone, and let the truth be released through real education.